Hello and welcome to another Raggy's review. Tonight, not a beer review, but actually, basically a food review, a restaurant review, if anything. So tonight, I've been over to, and I know this place very well, Cockliffe House. It's my workplace. I've been there now 2 years and 3 months. Well, just under 3 months. And I am the gardener there, so just in case there's any why are you doing a review of your own place? I'll explain. uh, I am a gardener there. Don't touch the inside. It's not, the inside has nothing to do with me. The gardens are me. My job at Cockliffe is to bring the gardens up to scratch, to create an oasis, to create a kitchen garden, to grow our own produce, to grow our own flowers, to, as Walt Disney would say, to plus it, to never ending, trying to improve, learn from mistakes. There's always mistakes, the weather, and keep going. My strive is undeniable for that. I will never stop trying to make it look better. Now, me and my wife, we're actually renewing our wedding vows in July 2023. We're having a Raggy's Beer Festival there. This is a bonkers thing. I'm going to be getting mini kegs of beer, and from lots of local breweries and maybe further afield, depending if I can twist people's arms. So tonight I went to the tasting evening. The tasting evening for couples, the couples that are getting married, you get it for free. For those extra people, I think it was £25, although I did not pay myself because it was only me and the wife. And here's what there is. So I'm going to go through the review of what I thought. Got there tonight, and Cockliffe just recently has been sprucing up its lighting. There's a new sign as you're driving in. There's lovely lights around the trees. It gives you a Christmassy feeling, but a brightness. You drive in, and then you've got the Cockliffe House itself, built in 1678, a French chateau in the Nottinghamshire countryside. The gardens are stunning. Well, I look after them. But it was the whole reason why I went for the job, and I fell in love with the job the second I walked in. The project, the gardens, but we're not talking about the gardens now, we're talking about the inside. So, walked inside, and you get to the left into like what was the reception room, and the fireplace is there. The Christmas lights are on. It's really festive. I love Christmas. It's really festive. And there was Sasha and Anna, the wedding coordinators, there. And we got a complimentary drink. Wife got Prosecco. I got a Lincoln Green Tuck. So that was really nice. Chattered. And I'm now seeing this from the other side. So, I'm listening to their social interaction, how they are, how they're dressed. And to be fair, everyone was dressed absolutely perfect. Very welcoming as you're walking in, very friendly, talkative. There's nothing worse than they were talkative, but in a way where if you didn't want to talk, they wouldn't talk. But it was approachable talk, and asking if you're all right and all that. We were there in that area for about 5 minutes or so, and then we had a quick walk into the bar area, the initial bar. Had a walk in there, and then we were greeted by a couple of the young lads walking around with the trays. Is it the canopies on? Yeah, I'm a gardener. Walking around with the trays with the canopies on, and I had a lovely king prawn wrapped in a batter, and that was lovely. In fact, I had a couple of them. I had some duck as well, and there was a vegan offering, but I'm not into vegan, so I gave that one a miss. Although the wife did, and they were absolutely lovely. So not long after that, we went into the wedding function room, what we'll call the wedding room. I'm not sure whatever it's called, but walked into there anyway. It's a lovely space. It's the whole entrance way, and the stairs and the reception room going all the way in. It's all been refreshed lately. It's all been, I would say, the colours are brighter. And there's been some good investment into sprucing the place up, basically. And it's tough, because you can imagine hospitality has had a rough 2 years. It has been really rough. 2.5 years of frightening for the hospitality. So to keep any business going, is a good thing. Anyway, walks into the room and it's been beautifully set up. I was there today when the lady was doing the setting up, and it was subtle, but it was lovely. There wasn't too much on the tables. As for me, as a gardener, sometimes less is more, and that was perfect. So me and the wife are sat on the table, just us on the table together, which I quite like, because I do kind of stay away from when I'm at work. I have a little bit of a loner, just getting on with my work and all that. But yeah, the place was lovely, and then Sasha, the wedding coordinator, got on the microphone to say hello and say about the courses coming out and the greetings, shall we say, and then we started tasting. So I'll go through the tasting. This is what was on the table. I kind of borrowed it for home. So the starters was a pork belly pea puree and pan-fried scallops. Now, because it was a taster, it came on one plate, 3 sections on one plate, basically. So yeah, the pork belly and scallops, I absolutely love this. And even though I'm not a fan of peas, it worked really well together. It balanced it lovely. And I even ate the wife. She's not a massive fan she's not a fatty fan, fatty meats. So I ate the fatty bit off the pork belly, but that was lovely. The mushroom arancini and a creamy tarragon sauce. It's like a mushroom in a batter with a bit of sauce. And again, it was absolutely top notch. And then the one we were both a bit unsure of, the deep fried brie with cranberry sauce. I'm not a cranberry sauce fan. I like brie. Wife's not so keen on brie. But again, even my wife was absolutely stunned by this. It really worked well. The mains, chicken breast wrapped in a Parma stuffed with chorizo. There's a bit of chorizo inside. The chicken breast. What my wife loved about the Parma, it was crispy. And yeah, she really liked that. The chicken was cooked up to perfection, and with mozzarella and Definoise potato. And again, Definoise potato was beautiful, and it was stunning. Pan-fried sea bass, pesto green vegetable, and crushed new potatoes. My wife didn't. She's not a fish fan, so she wouldn't eat the sea bass. So I had the sea bass, and the sea bass was perfect. I do like fish and chips, but I've never really been a sea bass person. But I've got to be honest, it was cooked lovely. The new potatoes, how they were done, spot on. And the pesto green vegetable, again, I can't fault it. It was absolutely lovely. And the last of the mains, a wild mushroom stroganoff and rice. And the stroganoff had a lovely sauce to it. The rice was fluffy. It was, again, really, really nice. Desserts. So 3 desserts. Passion fruit posse with a shortbread biscuit. So the passion fruit, my wife was a bit sceptical about passion fruit. It's just a flavour, and the passion fruit was just right, not overpowering. As a beer reviewer, you know, let me just wet my whistle. Not overpowering, and just right, nice, fruity. Chocolate brownie served with hot fudge sauce and vanilla ice cream. And again, I'm not a massive chocolate fudge person. I'm not these days. I'm not really a big dessert eater. But yeah, that was really nice. And the sticky toffee pudding, yeah, and banoffee ice cream. And again, that was lovely too. I think it was a good range of food, cooked to perfection. And the service, we'll talk about the service now, because the food was A rated. The service tonight, everyone, Demi, who's the, shall we say, the bar manager, was directing the staff with all the food out to the tables, making sure everyone got, you know, everything right. And the processes that the staff were doing, they were all very approachable, very warming. Heather, who's been there a long while, she's really talkative to the people and saying, "Did you like this?" And they all did that in different ways. And yeah, there was a moment when there was the young lad on the bar. He was coming out asking people if they want a drink, and they can pay on a tab. And there was offerings of the wine, so there was white, rosé, and red. Sadly, I was driving. I had a talk, but that was it. You know, I could not drink any wine. I get bollocking off the wife, and no, not when I'm driving. So there was a white, red, and rosé on offer to sample. Obviously, I didn't. Wife had the white wine, and I did a little sip of it just to see what it tasted like. I do wine reviews as well. So it's interesting, you know. What you don't want is a wine that's... This was lovely and fruity, and very easy drinking, quite light, fruity wine. Very, what's the word? Sessionable. But, yeah, very easy drinking. Very crisp and clean on the palate. So, yeah. Food was lovely and warm. The food that had to be warm anyway. The cleanliness of the place, it was looking really crisp and clean tonight. So if you get there, it's open from 6. It's open from 6. Food's at 7. From 6 o'clock, you can have a good walk around all the hotel rooms and see what's been done. And you know, there's been a lot of improvements. And I suppose it's never, whenever you own any building, it's never ending list of stuff. There's always something that needs doing, I suppose. But yeah, so you have to go and walk around all the buildings, and then obviously you get his drink, and then eat your dinner, and yeah, it's the whole night, the experience. Now, regardless of the fact that I actually work as a gardener there, I don't really. I'm separate to the inside, so for me, it really worked well. All the members of staff did their job to perfection. And like I say, the cleanliness of the place, it was looking great. And so for next year, you're always dubious. We booked the hotel because we love Cockliffe for our wedding vows. And obviously I know, because I'm looking after the gardens, that the gardens are going to be, you know, as good as they can be, weather permitting. I'm growing literally thousands and thousands of plants to put in. I've got a list in my head of stuff, to improvements to the grounds to make it as good as it can be. Yeah, fantastic night. And for those booking thinking of booking a wedding, it is a stunning place. And it's only tonight, while sitting there with my wife, looking round and actually taking notice, because you know, when you work at some place, you don't really take notice. Sat there and took notice, and it really is a stunning venue. You know, it's out the way in the Nottinghamshire, just on the outskirts of Nottingham. next to Burn Stump. Yeah, absolutely top notch. Fantastic night. And if any of the staff are watching this, you all did an amazing job. Every bit of it was spot on, from the cleaning to the service to the food. Yeah, well done. And yeah, can't wait for my wedding vows and the Wraggy's Beer Festival, of course. Thank you for watching. Cheers.